What is up, my booty munchers? Today we're gonna do something a little different. I never really done a video like this, but we're gonna go over my Dead by Daylight wish list. These are just things and stuff I want to see in Dead by Daylight, and hope that this will happen one day. But most of the stuff is just kind of like it's realistically never gonna happen. I don't really know how it's gonna work. I'll explain it more when I go to the list. But this is the Rocky Show's DVD wish list. In no particular order, we're starting off with number 1. Now, I would really love to see the backrooms in Dead by Daylight. Obviously the map would be the backrooms. The iconic yellow room. I think it's level 0. I think that's what it is. I'm not an expert on it. I did some research. The killer would obviously be the little entity thing, and by doing my research, he had a name. Apparently his name is Bacteria, so the killer name would be the Bacteria. And on top of that, the killer is also blind, so the killer can't see, but he can hear you. So I was trying to come up with like a power with this, since I think knowing the entity, he would manipulate the little being to be able to see, because the killer needs to see. And my little power I did was, again, I'm not like an expert on this. I just did some real quick. I put the bacteria's power will be momentarily blind yourself while idle and gain killer instinct. Once killer instinct is gained, you become unblind and automatically charged towards the nearest survivor, only if the survivor is making noise or moving around. I don't really know if you could picture how that would work in, the game, or like if you're doing it in your head. But since, the killer needs to hear you and you have to blind yourself, the killer would have to kind of like stop. Like, what's a killer that does that too? I guess a Cenobite would be perfect. He has to stop, but to use his power. So that's pretty much what the killer would have to do. And then he would automatically charge towards the nearest survivor, only if the nearest survivor is making noise. So the survivors won't get any notifications at all. I don't know, man. To counter this killer, pretty much survivors just need to know who the killer is and try not to move at the right time. That's pretty much how it is. And I don't really know how the entity would take this into the the fog, because he just grabs it. But I think I put a little lore down here. Yeah, I wrote down lore. Yeah, right here. Dwight is running away from something and trips, but no clips into the backrooms. Yep, that's the lore. Just like in the Cenobite trailer, Dwight is running away, goes in the basement, and finds the box, and opens it, and then spawns Pinhead. So that would pretty much be the same thing for the backrooms. He just trips, falls, and then no clips into the backrooms. And that's all. Yep, I would love to, see this. The map would probably be really horrible for range killers, like Huntress. God, yeah, good luck, Huntress mains, going against the backrooms. But lucky for you, it's probably never going to happen. Overall, they would probably have to lock in on this chapter if this ever becomes a real thing. It would be probably a big hit or miss. But anyway, to our number 2 spot, we have... Now, after the launch of the Tokyo Ghoul chapter, it's pretty much confirmed that now they can just take whatever they want into this game. The fact that we have an anime character as a killer is insane, so I think asking for Death Note isn't too much. The only issue is, I don't know how it would work, because Light doesn't kill innocent people, and Ryuk wouldn't help Light, so I think the entity would have to manipulate one or the other to force them to, kill innocent survivors. The killer would be obviously Light Yagami, but they need a killer name, so I put down here, the new killer's name would be the God of the New World. That would be a long-ass name, but hey, that's his name. And, oh yeah, then Light would have a skin for Lisa and Rem. I think that would go hard. Obviously, they did the same thing with Ken Kaneki with Riz or Rise. I don't know her name. I never seen Tokyo Ghoul, guys. Maybe I should watch it. Anyway, the new survivor would obviously be L. I don't even know his real name. I mean, I do. I just don't know at the top of my head. So it would be L. I didn't come up with any perks. God forbid. I can't, guys, I'm not that creative, man. I came up with only 2 powers for 2 killers, okay? You got the first one already. So, L would just be a survivor. He would probably have W perks, you know. Since I couldn't really come up with, like, a power, I wrote a little note down that if he did have a power, I put right here, actually, word for word. Maybe Ryuk stalks survivors for 40 seconds and Light writes their name down. Obviously, both are being manipulated by the entity. Yeah, I don't really know how that would work, but I put a little lore here, too, since that's probably the most interesting part. I think it would be cool. For the Tokyo Ghoul thing, he got taken after he got tortured, so he's hungry. And the entity's kind of forcing Ken to be hungry and feed on innocent people when he doesn't do that, I think. And I haven't seen the anime again. So the lore for Light and L getting taken by the entity would be, when L is dying, Light stares into his eyes and confirms he's Kira. Out of nowhere, a black fog fills the room and takes only them two. So pretty much a death scene for L, except when L looks up at Light and he's smiling, the black fog takes them, and that's how they get taken to the entity's realm. Again, I really I love making lore. I love lore. Yeah, so that was pretty much how they would get taken into the DVD realm. Oh, I guess the entity's realm. My bad. So yeah, I would really love to see this. I love Death Note. It's probably one of my best, like my favorite anime of all time. Like I think it's literally top 1 besides Code Geass. So yeah, I would really love to see this. And now, for a number 3 spot, we have... That's right, boys. Joel Goldberg from You. God, I love this show. Anyway, DVD chapter. You. That's what the chapter's name is. The new killer would be Joel Goldberg, but since he needs a killer name, I called him the Lover. Not like the psycho, the stalker, you know, all that, just the Lover. I could have come up with anything better. The new survivor would probably be Guinevere Beck, you know, the girl that gets stalked. Obviously, I didn't come up with any perks. There would be no map. It would just be those 2 people. Now, the power. Since it's just a normal dude that kills people, it should be just a skin for a Legion, but that's kind of lame. So this is the power I came up with for the Lover. Power. While in chase, you grab the survivor and choke them out. The survivor will have multiple skill checks in order to wiggle out of the killer's grasp. However, at the cost of 1 of their health state. When a survivor wiggles out of the killer, gains 5% haste and cannot grab the survivor again. That kind of seems like it kind of reminds me of like Houndmaster, which is gonna, you know, be fucking annoying, and Ken Kaneki, which is also fucking annoying, but at least Ken is cool and Houndmaster's not. Yeah, it's just, again, this is a wish list. I would just love to see this. Imagine getting chased by Joe Goldberg in DBD. I would love that. I put some lore right here. When Gwen tries to escape from Joe grabs her away from the exit, but both of them fall down the stairs into a black fog. So if anyone remembers that scene where Gwen is trying to get out from the cage, and she's like at the little door begging for, what's his name? I forgot his name. He's begging for the kid to open the door, but the kid doesn't. Joe just grabs her and they both fall down the stairs into a black fog. That's pretty much how it would work. I feel that's a good way to do it. He's emotionally, like, he has more emotion than the entity could consume because he wants to keep Gwen, but at the same time he doesn't want to get caught. Gwen would be terrified because just found out her boyfriend was lying the whole time as a killer. And yeah, I would just love to see this, man. I hope this gets added one day, except the likelihood of it happening is really, really not that likely. I was about to say Joe Goldberg. You isn't that big of a show. It's like pretty big, but not like, you know, massive. Kind of like Dexter. Like Dexter is massive. And speaking of Dexter, let's go to our number 4 spot, guys. That's right, boys. Just like Joe Goldberg, we have Dexter. Now Dexter is, just another or normal human being. He's not normal. That just kills people. It's just a guy with like weapons. Now his killer name would be the Bay Harbor Butcher. I think that'd be kind of sick, even though he is the Bay Harbor Butcher, but he hates that name. That would be a sick name for him. The survivor, James Dokes. Obviously, we know James was suspicious about Dexter since the first season. And I just felt like it would be right for him to be the survivor and Dexter be the killer. Now, again, Dexter only kills bad people, and he likes to kill them on the table and have them planned. That doesn't really work in the entity's realm. The entity would probably manipulate Dexter to think that the survivors fit his code when it doesn't. Like, Fang Man's a perfect example. I'm looking right at her right now. She's just a gamer. She's done nothing wrong. Like, there's no reason for her to get killed by Dexter. The map would actually be Miami Metro Police Station. I feel like having the map in here for Dexter would be really big. If there was ever a Dexter chapter, there should be a map. Like, there has to be. It'd just be Miami, Florida. Now, the power, again, I'm not an expert. I just try to come up with powers. When near a survivor, use your M2 attack to stick a needle into a survivor. The survivor loses their aura reading and loses a bit of their vision. That's, it'll count as a health state too. I didn't put that in there, but what was that drug? Dexter drugs his killers, well, not killers, his victims. And that's, we can't really do that in DVD. You can't really just stop them from moving after one hit. I mean, I guess you can, but we're not doing that. So yeah, I just made it to where it counts as a hit, but they lose their vision and a bit of their vision. Wow, I just said that twice. But aura reading, yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, now the lore, because James is here, but James, spoilers, James fucking dies in season 2. When Dokes has Dexter at gunpoint and they get into a fight, they both fall into the lake, but as they are falling, they fall into the black fog. For anyone who watches season 2 of Dexter, James finds out Dexter's the Bay Harbor Butcher and has him at gunpoint. But they both fight each other and fall into the lake. So I just changed it to where when they fall into the lake, they fall into the fog. Yeah, I would really love to see this. Same with you, Joe Goldberg. I would love to see that. Unlike Joe Goldberg, this would be more likely because Dexter is like really big, like big show, like it's massive. That's what I mean that, you was a smaller show than Dexter. That's pretty much all I got. Again, I'm not an expert at killer powers, maps, all that. I never actually done this before, so it's kind of new to me. I think Dexter would have a skin for Brian Moser, the ice truck killer. That would be kind of sick. And then James would obviously get like other stuff like Deb, but I don't think Dexter is just gonna kill his own sister. I haven't finished Dexter, by the way, so I don't know how it ends. So yeah, I would love to see this. Now on to our number 5 spot. This will never fucking happen. However, I can only dream, all you have is dreams. Coraline in Dead by Daylight. Again, it would never happen. The entity doesn't take kids, and it's also a kids horror movie, so that wouldn't really work well. There's blood everywhere. They kill people. They rip their organs out. All that. The best we could get it is a cosmetic chapter, but honestly, even as a cosmetic chapter, that would still be bad. Like Attack on Titan, we had a cosmetic. Kind of a shame that wasn't a full-on chapter, but we got Tokyo Ghoul's full-on chapter. It's it's whatever. I haven't even seen either one. Now, if Coraline were to get added, I feel like they would do the same treatment they did with Yuichi, which Yuichi is a DVD version of the actual Yuichi, because Yuichi is a kid in the first movie, but this is an adult version. So this is still like half of it is licensed and half of it's DVD's original like character. I feel like they could do the same with Coraline. Coraline could be like an adult, but the mother is still, the killer, like the beldam. And as you put it right here, the killer would be the beldam, but if it was cosmetic, it would be the artist, and Fang Min would be Coraline, but Coraline would be its own character. There is no lore. I didn't really do anything because again, this is Coraline. Like this is probably never gonna happen. So it's just I want this. It'd be cool if it happened. It won't. So I didn't put any lore, any map, any perks, power, all that. Excuse me, I just burped. But yeah, I can only wish. Now on to our number 6 spot.
You're a fucking ugly bitch.
American Psycho, baby. Can you imagine being chased by, what's his name, Patrick Bateman? Oh my god. Oh my god. So, I actually put this one last minute. There is no lore, no nothing. It's just the killer would be the Psycho, which would be Patrick Bateman. I don't have a power. I don't have any of that. He would just be like another dude with a weapon. So, if they were to ever add Dexter and Joe Goldberg and American Psycho, that'd be 3 people that are just people with weapons. That's all they are. It's just, you know, if we could have Dexter and Joe, we could have American Psycho, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's a wish list. It would be cool if this happened. If it doesn't, well, you know, it's just Rocky Luck. It is shot. Anyway, don't worry about it. What's it, to our number 6, 7? I'm losing count, guys. The next spot is
It's Slender Man!
Kill yourself.
Guys, as much as we need Friday the 13th in this game, we need Slender Man too. Honestly, I don't even know who owns the right to Slender Man. Like, where has he been? Like, bro's been gone. You know, I didn't come up with a power map. It would be cool if we did get Slender Man's little forest and you know, where the first game took place. That'd be a good map. I don't know, it'd just be really nostalgic for people who actually played the first game. I never played it. I just watched videos on it. Doesn't matter. Now, the killer would be the Slender Man. If that's not obvious, I don't know what other name he would have. I didn't come up with a power, lore. Frick it, you just want lore? Let's go, lore. He gets taken. There we go. There's your lore. Yeah, like I said earlier, if we need Jason Voorhees, we need Slender Man. On to our next spot, boys. If we're getting Five Nights at Freddy's, we could get Willy's Wonderland. Now, I used to be a really huge fan when this movie first came out. It was actually my favorite movie before, you know, I discovered how much I love Coraline. We already have Nicolas Cage in the game. You know, Nick, he's a chill guy. He would probably agree to, you know, be licensed with another license. He's already in the game, so we don't gotta worry about that. Just, you know, the killers would be, I guess, Willy, like Willy Wonderland himself. I didn't come up with the power, but his map would be, you know, Willy's Wonderland. That would be the map, like, you know, like a Chuck E. Cheese, you know, like a Five Nights at Freddy's, except we haven't seen the FNAF map yet. Again, this is just a wish list. I would love to see this. It doesn't happen. Anyway, this next part of the video is just what's it called? Honorable mentions. Now let's see what I have here. I have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Doki Doki Literature Club. We also have 2 good ones. We have 2 like real life people. James A. Janice and Mr. Ballin, John B. Ballin. Now, Mr. Ballin is just, you know, he's a horror YouTuber. He just tells scary stories. So him being in this game would actually be really sick. I think he would love it. I think his fans would love it. We'd all love it. Same with James A. Janice. He does the kill count. Before we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. That's him. He would also be really good. I think his fans would love it too. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in forever, but I was just thinking of stuff like what would be good in DVD, so that, you know, wouldn't be too bad. Doki Doki, it's never fucking happening. I mean, as much as I want like to be chased down by Monica, I'm not a gooner, guys. It's, you know, it's Doki Doki. Imagine, like, people already don't take this game seriously enough with Trickster in the game, and now they're not taking it seriously because anime's in the game. If we get Doki Doki, I think people are gonna leave. Like, we're not gonna have like a fan base. But after all that, I think at the end of the day, we just shouldn't be Dead by Daylight. That's my wish list for Dead by Daylight, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you booty munchers next time. Peace, losers. This is the same one we faced last time. Here's Bamboos.
They all are bamboozled.
Oh.